ECE. In BTech, we usually have three choices. Core, what we studied for 4 years. Coding, what many choose for higher salary. Or something else like MBA or MS. It depends on the individual. And within core, there are two paths, placement or gate. But honestly, I was never interested in core. Then why did I even take ECE? Simple, I got it in counseling. And let's be real, if most of us got a chance to switch to CSC, we would take it instantly. I mean, I didn't attend classes seriously. I studied the night before exams, but somehow managed to get decent grades. And when placements came, I chose coding, not because I loved it, but because it made sense. And even today, students in first, second, and even third year are still confused whether to choose core or coding. I faced the same confusion, and looking back, if I had the right guidance on what ECE actually offers, maybe I would have chosen differently. So instead of guessing, I'm talking to people who actually know. I'm interviewing two of my friends and one of my faculty members. Nujoom sir, my professor who did his BTech from NIT Calicut and a PhD from IISc Bangalore, and honestly, one of the coolest professors I have had. Varshith, my classmate, Air 13 in Gate 2025, now working at Texas Instruments. And Chandrashekhar, Air 108 in 2026, who is about to start his journey at an IIT. If you are confused between core and coding, this video isn't here to push you in one direction. It is here to show you what ECE core actually offers, so you can choose with clarity but not with confusion. So let's start. So you have studied ECE as student and worked in the industry for a few years. Then you did PhD from IISc Bangalore. For the period, what do you think ECE is really about?
In fact, I selected ECE as a stream not knowing what exactly ECE is. I was a mainstream student. I got good score in JEE, so everyone was opting for ECE. So I also went with them. During my 12th, I was too much into mathematics, especially the mathematics came in the communication part. So then I was selected to a communication firm, and then once I started working, I felt that there is less maths, and there were more software and even hardware was also there. My friends tell me that I explain things well. I would make a good teacher, and I also felt that even when I teach something to my neighbor kids who are in 10th or 11th, they come to me for doubt clearance. I feel very satisfied after teaching something to them. So I felt that teaching would be a good option for me. Then I thought I will do PhD. I had made up my mind I will do it in communication. If you ask me what do you know about ECE, maybe E part I don't know much. I was more into the communication engineering.
So, okay Varshith, when did you realize that core and gate was the right path for you?
From my JEE preparation, I was almost interested in electronics. In my first year too, I didn't have much exposure to coding. That's why I felt that pursuing ECE core was right choice for me. Initially, I was focused on preparing for internships. However, my Gen skill profile got rejected for some reason, which made me reconsider my options. That's when I decided to take GATE as a backup and started preparing for it from my third year. Since I already had a strong foundation in core subjects from my first and second years, it became easier for me to understand concepts in depth. I prepared for GATE around 8 months and secured an All India rank of 13.
Okay Chandu, you got a job in Bajaj in 7th semester itself, but what motivated you to write a GATE?
Actually, my GATE journey didn't start in the final year. It started during my second year holidays itself. I thought to prepare for VLSI internships during my third year, but I couldn't crack any of them. Since I am free during my 5th and 6th semesters, I thought to give an attempt for GATE. I have secured 300 All India rank. At that time, I realized what mistakes I made, what else I should improve for the next time. During the summer of the 6th semester, I went for IIT Madras for a research internship. So at that point of time, I got some clarity like what happens if someone takes MTech, or how research culture will be, or how VLSA job culture will be and all. Before the start of my final year itself, I thought like either I should crack a VLSA job or I should join MTech because I am passionate in this industry itself. I started applying for companies coming in the campus, but sadly I couldn't crack any of the VLSA job, but I landed at Bajaj job. So I thought to keep this job as a backup and try for any higher study exams like BARC and GATE. So I given my GATE exam and I have secured an All India rank of 108 this time. That's how it went.
With India investing heavily in semiconductors, what are the opportunities that students can expect in the next 5 years?
This is a very relevant question now because you can see that many software jobs are getting really affected because of the AI boom. We can tell very confidently is that the job area in semiconductors will be intact, maybe at least for next 2-3 decades, because we are in need for good hardware that supports AI, that requires good engineers that are mostly humans. Maybe wrong also, but I believe the trend will be more towards the semiconductor aspects. Those who know core device concepts and basic electronics will be well sought after for at least very near future.
Can you give us some tips and suggest some free resources used for GATE preparation?
I mainly focused on concepts and previous year questions since GATE repeats patterns a lot. For free resources, I used Profusion on YouTube to cover core topics, and I also attempted NPTEL mock exams every Sunday, which are mostly PYQ based. And for structured preparation, I followed Physics Wala lectures and took Made Easy test series. On coming to tips, one key thing I followed was starting early, not waiting until third year because the syllabus is huge. And I also started giving subject-wise tests after completing each subject, and from January onwards I focused mostly on full-length mock tests.
So okay Chandu, could you walk us how your typical day in your GATE preparation looks like?
Since I have already mentioned that I started my preparation in my 5th semester itself, there are many courses to study at that time. So you have 9 to 5 classes and labs and all. So in the daytime, it is completely for college, and right after coming back from college to room, I used to watch video lectures for around 1-2 hours and go to mess, and during the night time I used to solve PYQs. I repeated this process for around 3 months, and initially I completed the whole syllabus for the GATE exam, which is necessary. Around December I have completed my syllabus, and the GATE exam is around February. So in January, every day I used to revise the things I have studied before, and I bought few test series and I used to attempt papers and see how many marks I got, and use it to improve myself for every exam later.
What's the biggest mistake does EC students make when they are not clear with their options in their second year? And is the GATE only option after BTech, or is there any other options?
If you say that for higher studies, GATE is one of the major options, if you can say, if you want to study in India. But if you are open to studying abroad, universities and other things, you have multiple other options. If you are a student from top tier colleges like IITs and NITs, you need not even write some entrance exams. You can directly apply to abroad universities, get their call for interview. So many students don't know this thing. Either they feel that GATE is the only option. EC is a very vast area, and if you are fascinated by at least one subject or one aspect of EC, that will be your strongest point. Then you can actually go for higher studies in that core domain. There are many core domains like microelectronics, VLSI, embedded systems, and signal processing, communication. And also in EC we study software. That means you can do masters even in computer science, computer networks and other things. It's always good to keep your options open and see what you are really interested in and focus on that. Then you can go about your path.
Why did you choose Texas Instruments or MTech, and what are your future plans?
So honestly, even in my third year, my main focus was on getting a placement. It was more of a backup plan for me. But the things worked out better than I expected, and I was shocked when I saw the rank for the first time. And then when I went for the Texas Instruments interview, the rank actually helped me and played a big role to get the offer. As for my future plans, I want to first gain some industry experience and explore different domains. So based on that exposure, if I feel the need to specialize further, I consider higher studies.
So okay Chandu, you achieved Air 108, which means that you can get into any PSU or you can get any government jobs. But you didn't choose that. You choose MTech, and specifically VLSI. Why?
Yeah, that's completely true, because you can either choose PSU or MTech. PSU, since it's a government job, it will offer like security will be there. In the earlier stage itself, your salary will be quite good compared to an earlier stage job in VLSI industry. Since I did a research internship at IIT Madras, I like the research culture in the VLSI industry. The research in the VLSI industry is not that easy as we see. In the earlier stages of your career, you have to do some hard work and you have to sacrifice few things. You should go for masters, seeing all your friends going for jobs and all. When you look into it in the long term, you will get a better payoff for all the things you are doing. But when you go to the PSU industry, you won't see much improvement in the knowledge as far as what I got to know from my seniors. In the VLSI industry, it is completely different. In terms of expertise, you will get better expertise and better opportunities also. If you want to further extend your research for a PhD also, you can do in the VLSI industry. So yeah, that's the same reason why I choose VLSI also.
I didn't have clarity when I had to choose, and honestly, that's why I made this video. Because for most of us, the problem isn't lack of effort, it's lack of direction. We either follow what everyone else is doing, or we reject something without even understanding. But now, at least, we have seen what ECE core actually offers, the opportunities, the effort it takes, and the different paths people have taken. So whatever you choose next, make sure it's coming from clarity, not confusion. Because once your direction is clear, the hard work actually starts making sense.